Good morning. Am I audible? Am I audible? Say yes or no. Okay. See, in the last class we discussed about constant current bias and constant current source. Okay. I think you might have go through that portion. That is constant current bias and constant current source. See, you have to go through the equations and you have to get the idea how to write the equations. See, in the examination problems will be asking the same circuit diagram, so you have to apply the KVL equations. Okay, so try to write the KVL equations yourself, then only you can do the problems. Okay, in this hour we will be discussing some problems. Okay, so next, first of all, I am going to take a topic that is current mirror circuit. That is concept of current mirror. See, you might have heard about current mirror circuit. What do you mean by current mirror circuit? What do you mean by current mirror circuit? See, in the name itself, there is a mirror. So, what will be its function? So, the current will be mirrored. Okay. So, at one portion of the if the circuit has if the current at one portion of the circuit will be the current at the one portion of the circuit will be mirrored at the other portion. Okay, so we can say that the circuit in which the output is forced to equal to the input current is called as a current mirror circuit. Okay, that means you can write it as current mirror means that the circuit in which the output is forced to equal to the input current. Okay, output is forced to equal to the input current. Okay, in another way we can say that in a current mirror circuit the output current is the mirror image of the input current. Okay, so output current is the mirror image of the input current. In a current mirror circuit we can say that output current is the mirror image of the input current. Okay, see, next we can say that see we can write that in a current mirror circuit. See, output current is the mirror image of the input current. Okay, so we can in a block we can suppose that if there is a current mirror circuit, if it is a current mirror circuit, then there is a current source current. There will be there will be a source current. We can represent it as I source, so it will be the output current. So we can say that it is a I sink. Okay, in the case of current mirror circuit, I source will be equal to I sink. Okay. So this is the basic concept of current mirror circuit. So the current will be the output current is the mirror image of the input current. So now let us go to the circuit diagram of the current mirror circuit. Okay, basic current mirror circuit. Let us move on to the basic current mirror circuit. See, basic current mirror circuit. Basic current mirror circuit. Okay, you can draw the circuit diagram. So we know that in the case of differential amplifier, there will be two transistors. You know that there is two transistors. See, this is the basic diagram of this one. Actually, See, see, actually, this is the differential amplifier circuit, and here input and output inputs are given here, output is taken here, and it's in the case of differential amplifier, emitters of two transistors Q1 and Q2 are coupled or shorted together, and it will be there will be a resistance here. But in the case of in the previous topic, we have given a constant current bias or constant current source. In that case, there will be a constant current bias circuit will be here. So here we are now studying about the current mirror circuit. So at this emitter coupled portion of the differential amplifier, the current there will be a current mirror circuit. So that the input current will be equal to, here will be the input current, that input current will be the output current of this circuit. Okay. So now this is actually the structure of the complete differential amplifier with the current mirror circuit, but we are not representing this circuit completely. See, in your textbook, actually this is the configuration. Sometimes it may be drawn like, see, sometimes, see, you can see here that, see, these all are the out of topic portions. Actually this is the structure, V1. So in application level, it will be the structure here. Okay. So here is an RC. One second. This here is an RC. Here also another RC. You need not to you need not to draw this circuit. You will get an idea. See, this is the emitter. Here is the emitter. This is the base. This is the collector. Okay. Output will be taken from here. V out. So here initially we have drawn a resistance here. So that is Re or Re by 2. Okay. Then minus VEE here. Okay. Actually this was our differential amplifier circuit. This is RS, here also RS, and here V2. Okay. So you might have remember that this is our differential amplifier circuit. In this case, there is an emitter resistance. In the constant current bias circuit, we will be replacing this emitter resistance with a constant current source. Okay. Constant, this will be more stable than constant current source. This will provide a constant current. Okay. So this is a constant current source. We will be connecting the circuit, and there will be some circuit diagram. In the current mirror circuit, and in this portion, we will be drawing a current mirror. Instead of that portion, there will be a current mirror circuit. Okay. See, in your textbook, actually this is the configuration, but in your textbook, this portion is not shown. Instead, here, see, here this is Q1 and this is Q2. In almost all the textbook, instead of Q1, they have shown a current source. Instead of this Q1, there will be a current source. So we can represent it as a I reference. Okay. So I reference, because that transistor will, that is Q1 transistor will providing a reference current. So it is taken as a current source. Okay. Next, in this session, see, this Q2 will act as a resistance. So at that portion, there will be, it is shown that a resistance R C, whatever it is, there is a resistance. Whatever notations they are using, that depends upon the textbook. Okay. So actually, instead of Q1 and Q2, these two configuration is given. So not the complete differential, they will not draw the complete differential amplifier circuit. Rather, if they are discussing about a current mirror circuit, that is why they are given importance only to this current mirror circuit. But you should remember that before this current mirror circuit, its input is coming from these two party. Input is coming from this differential amplifier configuration. Okay. You should remember that. So next we can draw the basic current mirror circuit. While writing examination, or if any question coming from this basic current mirror circuit, you should have start from this circuit diagram. Okay. Previous block diagram you can see iso equal to, that all you have to write it, and next you have to draw the circuit diagram. See, you can draw the circuit diagram. So now you can draw the circuit diagram. See, here there is a resistance R2 and the current, actually this forms the current mirror circuit R2, and there is a transistors Q3 and Q4. See, if there is a differential amplifier here, Q1 will be here, Q2 will be here, Q3 is here, Q4 is here. Okay, so see this point coming from the emitter of Q1 and Q2. See, you know that in the case of differential amplifier, the both of emitters will be coupled together. Okay, in the case of dual input balanced output differential amplifier, the emitter side of the Q1 and Q2 is coupled together, and from that emitter this portion is coming. Okay, so here it is shown that it is grounded. Actually, in some of the textbook, it is shown by a current source, that is I reference, whatever it is. Now you can draw the circuit diagram I2. So here I2 is, sometimes you might have a doubt. Here the ground is shown, then how this current is coming? Actually, for analysis purpose, DC analysis purpose, we are grounding the source. If we are drawing this simple circuit diagram, it will be shown like a current source. See, the current source will be like this. See, this is I reference. Okay, actually this is the circuit diagram, but for the DC analysis purpose, we are grounding this source. Okay, so now you can draw like this. So this is the circuit diagram case. Okay, you can draw it. So Q4 here, Q3 here. Here in the circuit diagram there is a resistance. See, this is the collector, base, and collector, emitter. This is collector, this is emitter, and this is base. Okay, here in the circuit diagram, the base of the transistor Q3 and Q4 are tied together. Q3 and Q4 base connected together. Okay, you can write it connected together. Okay, connected together. So the base voltage will be same. Okay, see, also here you can see that the emitter of Q3 and Q4 connected together. Q3 and Q4 connected together. You should have noted these points. That is Q3, the base of Q3 and Q4 connected together, and the emitter of Q3 and Q4 connected together. So what is its meaning? If we are taking the base to emitter voltage of transistor Q3 and Q4, if we are taking the, see, here also one assumption is that Q3 and Q4 characteristics are same. That is an important point. You should have write it. Both the transistors, that is two transistors Q3 and Q4 are, their base voltages and base currents are same. See, here base are connected together, emitter are connected together. So base to emitter voltage is same, right? Base to, since Q3, Q4 bases are connected together and emitters are connected together, their base emitter voltage will be same. You can note it that. So the base emitter voltage, base, so you can write, so base emitter voltage of Q3 and Q4 are same. Q4 are same also. See, you can note it down. The base voltage, the base emitter voltage are the same. As a result, the base currents will also be same. See, so as a result, the base current also will be same. What is the base current? The current through this one is in this manner, current through this one is in this manner. So the base currents will be the same. Okay. Why it is like that? Because both the bases are connected together and emitters are connected together. As a result, the base emitter voltage and base currents are the same. Okay, so you can write it. But base emitter voltage of Q3 can be represented as VBE3. Similarly, base emitter voltage of base emitter voltage of fourth transistor Q4 is written as VBE4. So you can write VBE3 equal to VBE4. Similarly, you can write, see, if this is IB4 and this is IB3, then you can also write IB4 equal to IB3. So this is the assumption. Since they are connected together, the VBE3 equal to VBE4, also IB equal to, sorry, IB3 equal to IB4. That you can see from the circuit diagram itself. Okay, it's clearly visible in the circuit diagram itself. So that assumption you can write directly. Okay. Similarly, the collector currents will be the same since this base voltage, base to emitter voltage and the base currents are same, the collector currents will be same. So how can you write the equation? So IC4 equal to IC3. Since base emitter voltage is same and base currents are the same, you can say that the collector current is same. Okay. As a result, the collector current is same. So here two nodes are marked A and B. Here the two nodes are marked as A and B. Here you can see that the collector is tied to the base. Collector terminal is tied to the base. And here that means the potential at this point will be, these 2 points are, what is its meaning? Since it is shorted together, that means these 2 points are same. That is its meaning, right? Since these points are shorted, that means this point and this point are same. Okay, and so this there is no meaning in this portion, so these points are same. As a result, the collector and base points are the same since they are shorted together. So this section of the transistor act as a diode. You can say that this transistor will act as a diode since its collector and base are shorted together. So this transistor, in effect, what is its effect? Here see, suppose this is an NPN transistor, NPN, this is collector and this is base and this is emitter, so this is shorted. So that means what is its meaning? Even though this is NP, this is shorted, means that the path will be, the current flow path will be like this. Okay, so what is there, ineffective PN transistor only will be there. So this transistor act as a diode. Okay, so you can apply the, see, you can apply the KVL equation at the node A. You have to write the KVL equation at the node A. So what is the KCL equation? You can write the KCL equation at the node A. See, I am rubbing it. KCL, apply KCL. What is KCL? KCL is Kirchhoff's current law. KCL at node A. At node A. KCL at, apply KCL at node A. How can you write KCL? KCL means Kirchhoff's current. Here I2 is incoming current, IE is the outgoing current, and we are expecting that a small amount of current IE is flowing through this, and here suppose this is the collector. So some amount of current, that is IC4, that is collector current, is flowing to this section. So Kirchhoff's current law states that the algebraic sum of the currents meeting at a junction equal to 0, or you can write it as total incoming current is equal to total outgoing current, or sum of the incoming current is equal to sum of the outgoing current. So you can write it as, what is the incoming current? I2 is incoming current here. So I2 equal to, and what is outgoing current? Here we are expecting that here IC4 is going through this. So IC4, that is IC4 is outgoing from, yes. So as we are considering this node A, so I2 is the incoming current and IC4 is the outgoing current, and I is also outgoing. That means I is also outgoing. So we can write IC4 plus I. Okay. So I2 equal to IC4 plus I. Okay. Now we are applying, we have applied the KCL equation at node A. Similarly, we can apply KCL equation at node B also. Okay. You can write the equation. What all are the currents at node B? See, at node B, here is the node B. What is the current coming to this node B? I is the current flow coming to this node B. See, I is the current coming to this node B, and it will be split into IB4 and IB3. Okay, so incoming current is I and outgoing current is IB4 and IB3. Okay, IB4 and IB3. So you can write at node B, if you are applying KCL, the equations will be I equal to IB4 plus IB3. Okay, IB4 plus IB3. So these are the base currents. But what was our first assumption? We assumed that both the base currents are same. Okay, we assume that base currents are same. Okay, so since the base of the transistors are connected together and the emitter is connected together, its base to emitter junction voltage will be same. As a result, the base currents will be the same. We are assuming in that manner. So this will be equal to IB4 equal to IB3. That is, so we can simply write this, it is equal to IB4, or else we can write it as 2IB3. Okay. So I will be equal to, that current will be is equal to 2IB4, or else 2IB3. What is its reason? Because IB4 is equal to because IB4 is equal to IB3. Okay, IB4 equal to IB3. So I2, how can you write I2? We have the equation for I2 is equal to IC4 plus I. Instead of I, what we can write? We can write this equation. See, you can number this equation as 1 and this equation is equal to 2. So we have the equation I2 equal to IC4 plus, instead of I, we can write equation number 2. So you can write substitute 2 in 1. Okay, substitute 2 in 1. So I2 will be equal to IC4 plus 2IB4 or IC4 plus 2IB3. Okay, IC4 plus 2IB4, or that will be equal to IC4 plus 2IB3. Okay, both the equations are same. So I2 is like this. You can write the equation like this. Okay, so but we know that what is IB3? You know, you have an equation current gain. In the case of here, input is given to base. If the input is at a base and output is taken at a collector, then what is the value of beta current gain? Current gain is equal to collector current by base current. You know that we can simply write beta is equal to, see, beta is equal to, what is beta? Beta is equal to output current by input current, that is current gain. So IC by IB. Okay, so we can simply write IB equal to IC by beta. Okay, if you are giving input to base and output is taken at the collector, then we can write current gain equal to output current by input current. So beta is equal to IC by IB. So IB will be equal to IC by beta. How, for what we are taking this equation? See, here is the term IB. So we want to replace this term. Okay. So instead of this, in I2 equal to IC4 plus 2 into, instead of IB3, what we can write? IC3 by beta. Okay, IC3 by beta, 2 into IC3 by beta. I2 equal to IC3 by beta. Okay, so similarly this equation, see, you know that IC3, we have made an assumption that IC3 by I2 is equal to IC3 by, we have initially we have made an assumption that both the collector currents are same. See, IC3 is equal to, first we start the derivation at IC3 is equal to IC4. So you can similarly write I2 will be equal to IC3 plus 2 into IC3 by beta. See, I think it will not be visible to you, so I will be writing the equations here. See, I2 equal to, I2 equal to, actually we got the equation IC4 plus 2 into IC3 by beta. That is our equation. But initially we made an assumption that since the bases are tied together and base to emitter voltage is same, so the collector current will be the same. That is our assumption. See, so we can write it as I2 is equal to, instead of IC4, we can write it IC3 plus 2 into IC3 by beta. Okay, so that is our equation. So generally we are neglecting 2 by beta. See here, here there is a term 2 by, see here there is a term 2 by beta. Actually we are neglecting in general you can write in general, we are neglecting this term since beta is very high, then current gain is high. As a result, this term we can neglect. So I2 will be equal to IC3. So I2 will be equal to IC3. Okay, so that is equal to IC4. I2 will be equal to IC3 equal to IC4. Okay, so that we can, so I2 will be equal to IC3. So you can write in general, we will neglect beta by 2 by beta term because its value, beta value is very high. As a result, we can write I2 equal to IC3. Since IC3 equal to IC4, we can write it as I2 equal to IC3 equal to IC4. See, what is I2? I2 is the current coming from the differential amplifier. Okay, I2, and that will be equal to IC3 means that what is IC3? IC3 is the current coming to this section, IC3. Okay, so see, this is the input section of the circuit and the output is taken at the side. That means the I2 incoming current is equal to outgoing current. So that means the current at the one portion of the circuit will be mirror image to the other portion, or source current is or output current is the mirror image of the input current. So you can write like that. Since I2 equal to IC3, we can say that output current is the mirror image of the input current. So the current mirror circuit works like this. So actually this is the proof for the current mirroring effect of this circuit. Actually this current mirroring effect takes place due to the same base voltages or same base voltages and same emitter voltages. See, these two are connected together and these two are connected together. So the same current flows here and the same base to emitter voltage will be here, and also there is a connection like this shorting of the collector and base. As a result, this section acts as a diode. Okay, if it acts as a diode, so the current flowing through this will be mirror imaged to this side. That means output current will be the input current. And this all are the derivation for its proof. Okay. Similarly, we can write I2 is equal to IC4, and next we have to write the we have to get the equation for I2. What will be the output current? That is our aim. So for that, we are writing the KVL equation for the emitter loop of the transistor Q3. See, this is our proof of current mirroring. Okay. Next, we have to write the equation to get I2. Okay. Next is that is our aim, to get the equation for I2. To get the equation for I2, to get the equation for I2, to get the equation for I2. See, in order to get the equation for I2, we have to apply KVL to the base emitter loop of the transistor Q3. We have to apply KVL to the base, you can see, base emitter region of base emitter loop of Q3. So that is base emitter loop of Q3. We are applying KVL to the base emitter loop of Q3. So in that you can write I2 into R2 I2, we can write I2 into R2 coming in this manner. I2 into R2 minus VBE3 minus VBE3. See, we are applying the KVL in this manner. See, you can see here from this base emitter loop. Okay, this is the way you can. Actually, I am planning this. This is the way we are applying KVL. Okay, the I2 into R2 minus VBE3 plus VEE equal to 0. We are applying KVL to the base emitter loop of the transistor Q3, and we are taking the loop. See, we have to take the loop. So here we are going like this way. Okay, this is the source, and we have to coming from this source, we have to go to the ground portion. As a result, we are taking the loop like this. Okay, so that will be I2 current flows through R2. So plus minus see, either you can write minus I2 into R2, minus I2 into R2. See, actually this is minus I2 into R2, okay? Minus I2 into R2. See, this is plus minus. So, current flowing from higher potential to lower potential. So, we are taking minus I2 into R2 minus VBE3. This is plus minus. So, this is VBE. So, minus VBE E3 and plus here minus plus is the symbol for source, that is equal to plus V equal to 0. From this equation, what is I2? You can write what is I2. I2 equal to VEE minus VBE3 divided by R2. Okay, I2 will be is equal to VEE minus VBE3 divided by R2. So this is equation for I2. Okay. So for getting the value of I2, you are applying KVL to this portion. Okay. So this is minus I2 into R2 and next VBE3. See, these 2 points are same. As a result, here these two can be connected together. Okay. And next is VBE. Since it is for third transistor, so it is VBE3. Next is minus VEE. Okay. So this is the current mirror circuit. So you should remember that here the collector current of both the transistors are equal, base currents of both the transistors are equal, and base emitter voltage of both the transistors are equal. As a result, the collector and the base of the transistor Q4 is connected together. The transistor will act as a diode at the base emitter region. Okay. As a result, the collector current will be equal to the emitter current. Collector current I2 will be the same as the emitter current of this transistor. Okay. So that is the current mirror circuit. Next we can do some problems. Okay.
Miss,
Do you have any doubt?
Miss, അവിടെ
1 second.
മിസ് ആ ലാസ്റ്റ് കിട്ടിയ ഇക്വേഷൻ ഇല്ലേ,
പറഞ്ഞോ.
ആ ലാസ്റ്റ് കിട്ടിയ ഇക്വേഷൻ അവിടെ പോസിറ്റീവ് അല്ലേ വേണ്ടേ?
എവിടാ?
VB-E3 മൈനസ് VEE അല്ലേ വേണ്ടേ?
എല്ലാം എങ്ങനെയാണ്? മൈനസ് പ്ലസ് എന്നല്ലേ സൈൻ ഉണ്ടാവുക?
അല്ല, ആ ഇക്വേഷൻ ലാസ്റ്റ് ഇക്വേഷൻ റൈറ്റ് സൈഡിലേക്ക് എടുക്കുമ്പോ
ഇത് റൈറ്റ് സൈഡിലേക്ക് എടുക്കുന്നതായിരിക്കും. അന്നേരം എങ്ങനെയാ? -I2 ഇൻറ്റു R2 അല്ലേ വരും? -I2 ഇൻറ്റു R2 ഈസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു, ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ റൈറ്റിലേക്കല്ല എടുത്തത്. നമുക്ക് I2 അല്ലേ വേണ്ടത്? ഇത് -I2 അല്ലല്ലോ, -I2 ഇൻറ്റു R2 എന്നല്ലേ? അപ്പൊ ഇത് റൈറ്റിലേക്ക് പോകുമ്പോ എന്താവും? അത് പ്ലസ് ആവൂലേ? I2 ഇൻറ്റു R2 ഈക്വൽ ടു മൈനസ് VBE3 പ്ലസ് VEE വരും. ഓക്കെ. I2 ഈക്വൽ ടു VEE മൈനസ് VBE3 ഡിവൈഡഡ് ബൈ R2. ഇവിടെ ഇത് ഇടണേ, -I2 ഇൻറ്റു R2 വരെ. സി ക്ലിയർ ആയാ റോഷ്നി? Okay. Anybody have doubt? So next we can do a problem. Okay. So you can write the question. The following specifications are given for the, write the question. The following specifications are given for the dual input balanced output differential amplifier. Dual input balanced output differential amplifier. In that, RC equal to 2.2 kilo ohm, RC equal to 2.2 kilo ohm, RE equal to 4.7 kilo ohm, RE equal to 4.7 kilo ohm, RI1 equal to RI2 equal to 50 ohm plus 50 ohm, and plus VCC equal to 10 volt minus VEE equal to minus 10 volt. And the transistor is CA3086 with beta DC equal to beta AC equal to 100 and VBE equal to 0.7 volt typical. Question edukane. Following specifications are given for the dual input balanced output differential amplifier with RC equal to 2.2 kilo ohm, RE equal to 4.7 kilo ohm, RI1 equal to RI2 equal to 50 ohm, plus VCC equal to 10 volt, minus VE equal to minus 10 volt, and the transistor is CA3086 with beta DC equal to 100 and VBE equal to 0.7 volt typical. 0.7 volt typical, okay? Determine the ICQ and the VCEQ. First question is determine the question part A is determine the ICQ and VCEQ. ICQ and VCEQ. Second question is determine the voltage gain. Determine the voltage gain. Determine the voltage gain. Determine the voltage gain. Third question is determine the input and output resistance. Third is determine the input and output resistance. Determine the input and output resistance. So you have to first draw the circuit diagram. So I have wrote the question on the board. You can note it. Determine the ICQ and VCEQ. Determine the voltage gain. Determine the input and output resistance. Okay. Next, I will draw the circuit diagram. You can draw it. See, circuit diagram is shown in the figure. You can draw the circuit diagram. and this was the type of questions you will be asked for university questions. Okay, try to do this sort of questions. You can draw the circuit diagram. See, you have to do it as homework. I will discuss it in the next offline class. Okay, attendance please. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Thank you.